please welcome to the stage Kelly Zen-Yie Tsai.
Is my mic on? Hello, hello. Good morning, Campus Progress. How's everybody feeling? I need a little bit more. How's everybody feeling this morning? When I say campus, you all say progress. Campus, campus, campus. When I say spoken, you say words. Spoken, spoken, spoken. When I say many, you say voices. Many, many, many. When I say one, you say love. One. 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 Like you mean it. One. All right. How's everybody feeling this morning? So once again, my name is Kelly Zen-Yie Tsai. I'm a spoken word artist originally from Chicago. Hey, 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 Chicago. Chi-Town in the house. But now I live in Brooklyn. So we might have a little bit. But I got love for the whole country. So I want to hear, is the East Coast in the house? Is the West Coast in the house? Ooh, heavy. Is the Midwest in the house? Is the dirty South in the house? All right, all right. Everybody ready to get going this morning? Oh, shit, only her. She's like, yes, it's time. Well, I'm so happy to be here. Performing at Campus Progress is literally one of my favorite events of anything that I do all year. But yeah, I'm going to do a couple poems for you guys, if that's all right. This first piece I'm going to start us off with, since I know it's an election year. This is a piece that I wrote in 2008 for the presidential election. Sometimes I joke that Barack Obama is like our first Asian American president, you know, because he was born in Hawaii and he grew up in Indonesia, so at least he won't forget that we exist, you know. But even though the 2008 election broadened the conversation around race and gender and political participation, I think it could be broadened a little bit more. So this piece is called Black, White, Whatever. A humble memo to the candidates for the presidency of the United States of America. I, Kelly Zen-Yie Tsai, current resident of Kings County, Brooklyn, and former resident of precinct number 47 on Chicago's South Side, would like to make a request for myself and others like myself to be enumerated in all further speeches, debates, and miscellaneous communications with the American public at large. Now, this could be in reference to our nation of Janice Dickinson modeling agency watchers, beginning gazpacho makers, or those who have not yet learned to skateboard. And although all of these above categories would be accurate, the nation I would like you to refer to is even less of a statistical minority than some of those listed above, and a fairly obvious one. And that would be Asian. Oh, I know you may balk and scream about how many Asian events you've gone to or how many Asian donors you've taken money from, but this election year, I would like to banish the term in your words, black, white, whatever, to the mass media rhetoric garbage can forever. Even worse than this is in your words, we believe in the rights of all people. Black, white, blue, purple, green, silver. Now, I consider myself a fairly well-informed and well-traveled individual, and although I do not think that blue or purple or green or silver people exist, brown and red and yellow people do. Now, we may not always call ourselves these things, but if we are going to relegate our communities to these sloppy pots and essentialize to the colors of the rainbow, I would like to mention that whatever does not represent me, nor does blue or purple, or green, or silver for that matter. And I know you may moan, oh, well, we can't talk about everybody's problems. And that much is true. But I am a sucker for specificity. And when it comes down to whether or not I exist, and furthermore, whether my heart, my uterus, and my tax return is gonna be governed by your corny self, I would like to say that I'm real. I'm here, and I'm voting. And believe me, this girl is yellow. Everybody doing all right? Y'all can loosen up. That's okay. That's okay. You can do your little body roll in your seat. You know, I'm open. However you want to enjoy yourselves. But once again, I'm so happy to be here because I was just thinking this morning, I was like, you know why I love Campus Progress? Because I love people who do things. Make some noise if you're the kind of person who likes to do things. As people used to say in Chicago, you know, don't just talk about it, be about it. You know, y'all know what I'm saying, right? So, since I like people who do things, I'm a big fan of you. So give it up for yourselves for doing things and coming together with people all across the country to talk about how that goes down. So the next piece, I was thinking a lot in terms of all the activism that's happening, the big movements that are happening, around the DREAM Act, around Occupy Wall Street, and really thinking about this story of immigration and what drives that. All of us are here in this room, largely for a lot of the different forces that drive immigration. And it made me think of a piece that I wrote for my friend Lily, who is an overseas contract worker from Iloilo, Philippines, but living in Taiwan. So make some noise if you know what an overseas contract worker is. Wow, not enough people. So basically, my quick and dirty explanation of it is some countries have more money and some countries have. So people from countries with less money go to the countries with to make, yay, give it up for yourselves and for our collective. Your colleges are not doing their job. But, so basically, when I was in Taiwan, Lily used to work for my auntie, and we used to hang out. And so she really brought me into her world, which I feel very, very blessed for. So this piece is for her. It's called Lily's Hands. Lily's hands are small, red, and cracked. She uses them to slice the fish from the market, to smash garlic with the side of a cleaver, to spin the tap for the cold water, to soak the bitter melon and suck it of its dry newspaper taste. Lily's hands wipe down the counters with lightning speed, piles buns soft with heat onto a plate. Lily's hands dash ginger, sesame oil, garlic into the steaming wok, which burns blush onto her cheeks. Lily's hands cube the tofu, cure the chicken feet, and wipe the stains from my auntie's toilet. Lily's hands tug at the edge of her t-shirt, making jokes in English, Tagalog, and Mandarin, pretending not to understand the arguments, pretending not to notice. Lily's hands massage my uncle's feet, bloated from a lifetime of a soldier's walk. She cracks, contorts, and twists his soles as he scowls, TV watching Stephen Chow Kung Fu chop his way over a wall. Lily's hands rub acetone over fingernails and keep her fed in Iloilo, Manila, Singapore, Taipei, from bitchy house mothers to wicked roommates, her fighting sisters and runaway friends. Lily's hands know how to work. Lily's hands ball into tiny fists as she pulls the blanket up to her neck on the cot in the back room next to the laundry machine, because she is a good employer. My aunt who doesn't rape or beat or stab or cut her wages. My aunt who depends on her for her life, to make food for people who otherwise would never come, to keep her family together, to give to an old woman who often forgets how to. Chanel, Gucci, plastic surgery, and golf. Lily's hands pray to the gods in the church, the wind, and the Filipino government. Smiling, she proclaims, I must fight for so many stories she grips in these hands, so many challenges to the pulse. She knows that she's gonna be there when her contract is up, with her man, her baby, her motorcycle, her house, her sugar factory in Iloilo, the day her hands can finally work for themselves. Everybody doing all right? It's all right if I do a couple more poems for you? Like, believe me, it's early for me too. So the next piece I want to do for you all, what piece do I come up with a very specific idea of what I want to do for you, and then I get in the room and I just want to change it up entirely. But this next piece I dedicate to anyone who is a feminist. So feminists, make some noise in the house. Any of those who love feminists? Wow, okay, well, it was like a growing swell. Maybe we like feminists. But for me, I wrote this piece for a feminist anthology called We Don't Need Another Wave, Dispatches for the Next Generation of Feminists. And they asked me, Kelly, what would you like to say to this next generation of feminists? And I was like, well, you know what? Sometimes feminists, unfortunately, I think are the most woman-hating people of all at times. Oh, she's like, yes, definitely. Because, and I think like many activists in our goal goals and desires to fight forward for progress, for freedom, for the rights of all people to be honored and respected. We get really frustrated at somebody, you know, who's like in the booty shorts dressed up like a Playboy bunny on Halloween or something. You know what I mean? But I really, or maybe that's just me. But you know, for me, I really feel that our job as people who have the privilege, who have committed our lives to working towards social justice, we really have to embrace people for all their idiosyncrasies. So I wrote this piece for that anthology. This piece is called Real Women I Know. Real women I know have flaws, not just cellulite and acne scars or body odor or bad musical taste, but serious flaws. Flaws like cheating on our partners or stealing our best friend's lovers. Flaws like looking for what's the best inside of ourselves, inside of somebody else. Assuming crisis, assuming miracle, or assuming nothing at all. Real women I know never knew how we grew up so fast, holding fists with eyes closed. We become wives, divorcees, widows. We become addicts, abusers, liars. We become all that we didn't understand about the adult world, shocked that the little girls in us haven't yet disappeared. Real women I know keep no good friends on the couch for months. Don't bug them about their hustling. Let them back in when they come knocking at the door. Real women I know are in therapy and madly in love with our shrinks. Happy to talk about the sad parts, sad to talk about the happy parts, sick of going on medication. Real women I know destroy ourselves through work or television, starvation, or people who refuse to treat us well. We are persistent in this effort, and yet we cannot refuse the invitation to continue on. Real women I know work thousands of miles away from home, collect barrettes in a chest of drawers, pack cardboard boxes full of soap, shampoo, and candy to send home. Real women I know support the economies of entire countries. Real biofemales I know aren't women at all, but trans boys, genderqueer, gender fluid, with short hair and button-down shirts, genitalia only one tiny part of the gender puzzle when the world offers so much more. Real women I know laugh in bed while smoking weed and eating Girl Scout cookies. Post diagrams for our partners on how to give oral sex properly by the bed. Real women I know have given up sex to find love, or just now remembering how it feels to sleep in bed alone. Real women I know are mothers. Unexpectedly, the babies come and teach us to stand with 2 feet on the ground, arms stretched wide open, ready for whatever arrives. Real women I know are driven into the ground eternally, never given rest, take on everybody else's problems, never allow ourselves to give up. Everybody doing all right? Yeah? Woo! The time goes by so fast. So I'm just going to do one more piece for you. So make some noise if you're excited to be here today. Make some noise if you're excited to hear all the speakers and to connect with all the beautiful people here. It means so much. It means so much. You never know. Somebody you sit next to at lunch, somebody that you meet at a workshop, you never know what campaigns might come from that, what lifelong friendships might come from that. So I'm really excited just to see, you know, what's bubbling up and what's going to be happening here. But yes, for me, my family is actually originally from Taiwan. Make some noise if you know where that is. Ooh, okay. I always tell people Taiwan, not Thailand. I also love Thai food, but it just does not have anything to do with my family. And sometimes the short description of Taiwan, I'll be like, it's a little island off the southeastern coast of China that China threatens to blow up every year. But it hasn't happened yet, so don't worry. But all joking aside, my family actually, my mother's family, my grandfather was actually a politician in Shanghai. And so during the Communist Revolution, he obviously had to, you know, hightail it up out of there. But you know, being in the United States and being affiliated with the left, it's really interesting that the ways that communism and the Communist Party has been a great inspiration to a lot of different movements like the Young Lords, the Black Panthers, the Revolutionary Red Guard, and a lot of those movements that have continued to filter into a lot of our progressive movements today. But I think, as always, you know, kind of theory and practice are not always exactly the same thing. So this is a piece I wrote that was on my first season of HBO Deaf Poetry. They called it Mao in the episode, but it's actually called Little Red Books. So here it goes. The illustrations are the same. I remember. 老师好, teacher, how are you? 站起来, stand up. 鞠躬, bow down. 坐下, sit down. These were the first things they taught us to say in Chinese school, and we would repeat. 老师好, 站起来, 鞠躬, 坐下, acting each motion out like good, obedient children, taking cues from the kids in the books which opened from the opposite direction. 老师好. The kids were always in school uniforms with bright white skin and rosy red cheeks, jet black hair braided or bobbed, books carried enthusiastically under one arm. Now, these were kids who did not know Chicago winters, Ren and Stimpy, what Doritos taste like, Madonna's True Blue album, the joy of discovering masturbation, or the ache of wondering if your nose should be pointier and your eyes rounder, and would they be more beautiful if they were. They were just happy Chinese children, just like us. 站起来, so of course I would recognize them even 15 years after failing to learn Chinese, beaming at me from a book open Western style, screaming, we love to brush our teeth, we love to study hard every day, we love to read our little red book. Long live Mao, long live Mao, long live Mao. I can tell I have made a mistake by coming into the revolutionary bookstore, surrounded by the enormous heads of Mao and Lenin. I am confused and start playing choose your own adventure with what I see before me. Delete Chinese children here. Insert white, red, black, brown children there. Delete Mao. Leave all other text the same. Insert Hannity. Insert W. Insert Justin Bieber. Insert whoever the heck you want to. Zhugong, is it as funny when the indoctrinated look like you? Is it as cool, as kitschy, as righteous? Is it as easy to scream, revolution now, if you knew you'd have to give up so much of your stuff? Is Mao as much of a genius when he tells your bougie, intellectual, urban butt to stop reading books and go out into the fields and work? Did Mao experiment on your family to create a better world? Did Mao tear your reality apart? Did you know that communism isn't theoretical for everyone? 坐下. My friend signs off all of his emails. Siempre luchando. Paz y revolución. As if the two were possible, peace and revolution. As if bloodless wars didn't still tear psyches apart. Change hurts. Living it is hard. We've got to be ready if we decide to. 站起来, stand up. 站起来, 站起来. Thank you all so much. It's been my honor. If you want to check out my work, my website is www.yellowgirl.com. That's GURL.com. That's meant ironically, so please do not call me Yellow Girl. You can follow me on Twitter at Yellow Girl Poet. And I'll be hanging out all day because I want to meet you, talk with you. I want to hear about what's going on in your community. So come check me out. I'm over at the exhibitors tables, and I'll be walking around. Thank you all so much.